Right. So one thing I noticed about, channels, like design channels and coding channels and stuff like that, is that people start doing videos where they sort of get personal and they start telling you stories and stuff like that about themselves, their personal life, and you guys seem to like it, right? So I thought, hey, let me jump on that. Why don't I just, stop the work a little bit and just tell you about my personal life. When I say personal life, I don't mean just personal life. I mean, I would stick to the niche, okay? Yes, I'm gonna tell you about graphic design in my life. Exactly, let me just tell you what this video is about. I'm going to tell you how I got introduced to graphic design. Okay, the first time I got introduced to graphic design until today. Okay, right. So let's jump on it. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna just put on my glasses. Is that okay? Yes, I got a lot going on this other side and the camera, so all that. Right. Wait, is the mic on? 1, 2. Okay. I mean, imagine that. There's nothing so annoying than creating a whole video without sound. Imagine that. Right. Let me stop stalling. Graphic design, 2015, 2016, right? There's this guy called Reynus, right? Reynus, should I say his last name? I think it's safe. Yeah, it's safe. Reynus Mahlalela, right? Reynus was a beginner graphics designer, and he loved it. He loved it. Now we're in church, and we're all church people, so we meet there. He wasn't my friend. Honestly, he wasn't my friend at all. But he knew he was friends with my friend. Okay, my other friend. He was friends with him, right? So he was the one responsible for the graphics design in church, the church posters, the church logo, the church whatnot, the church social media and everything like that, right? So I never really paid attention to that. I didn't care. I just thought, that is that, right? Right. Until one day my friend say, hey, let's go to this guy. I want to collect something. I'm like, what guy? Like, no, let's go. It's fun. And then we went to Reynus, right? We get into his house, and this guy gave my friend a calendar, a printed out calendar. Okay, we printed it out on A4, sort of a gloss, this gloss A4. Yeah, we printed it out on that, but I wasn't interested in all that. I was just amazed by seeing his picture with his girlfriend on a calendar, right? And then on the background, he had that, remember back in 2015, 2016, we had the design trend of stars, yeah, stars and those texture, stars, textural background, stuff like that. So he had that on, the cutting, the trimming wasn't the best. It was not very, very good, honestly. But then I was amazed, and he was amazed. He thought that was like the best graphic. I thought, to be honest, it was okay, but then it was beginner level, right? From there, I was triggered by this graphic design thing. I was like, what? First of all, how did you get his picture to be cut out like that? How do you just cut out a picture? Second of all, how do you get a calendar and blend it with anything? Like, how do you get access to a calendar? How do you do that? Isn't that supposed to be like government level stuff to have a calendar? Where do you get a calendar, first of all? Like, I didn't know anything about all this graphic design and where to get this. I didn't know all that, right? I'm just a guy. And then I was interested in this, right? Cool. Now, me and Reynus, started being a little bit friendly to each other, and then this posters, church posters kept coming, and it kept upgrading, it kept looking good. I was like, okay, now, you know what? I gotta start doing this. I just want to know how to do. I don't want to take his job or anything. I just want to know how. How is this? This is mesmerizing, right? Now, because of my multi-talent, ability, of course, I was able to pick up first. Went to him and said, hey, look, man, I want you to teach me graphic design. stuff like that. He said, hey, you gotta have Photoshop. And then he showed me Photoshop. Photoshop is this white. I remember that time Photoshop didn't have a black theme, right? White, 2015 was Photoshop CS5, and then CS6 was just coming in, right? White, right? So this thing was like, oh man, I don't know. It's a lot going on here. I don't know. And then he, to be honest, he failed to teach me, right? Not because he couldn't teach me or anything like that. He just didn't want to, okay? Because he thought I was gonna take his job in church, and that is how he was really, really noticed in church, right? And I already have the spotlight, okay? I play instruments, I play drums, keyboard, guitar, I sing, I conduct the choir, I do all the things, okay? I'm like everywhere, okay? But then not graphic design, not media stuff. So he was like, nah, I'm not gonna show this guy's trying to take everything from me. He couldn't say that, but I saw that he was going that way. So I was like, fine, I'm not gonna beg him for that. I'm just gonna download Photoshop and I'm gonna learn it, right? And then I remember those times I really loved YouTube, right? I really loved, because I was learning tutorials on, the keyboard and the instruments and the whatnot. So I was big on tutorials on YouTube. And then I said, you know what? YouTube is gonna teach me. And then I started checking out the Photoshop things. And then I started learning, And then this guy called Todd Vitt, Hey everybody, this is toddvitt.com. That guy, hey Todd, if you can hear me, hi man, you helped me a lot, man. toddvitt.com, go check him out. toddvitt.com. He helped me a lot. I downloaded his videos, and then I used to watch them in my computer, right? Who else? Who's this? This Indian guy, Dinduff something, Unmesh Dinduff, something like that, Pixel Perfect, okay? Hey, how you doing, bro? Yeah, that guy also helped me a lot, because he really explained, he does things how I do it, okay? I really explain it to you. I don't want to just look cool, I want to really explain. If you're watching my videos, you are taking more of their purpose than just seeing me as the cool guy, like, hey, this guy knows. No. You're taking more because I want you to learn for real, okay? So that guy also helped me a lot. And when it comes to video editing, this other, we're not talking about video editing here, we're talking about graphic design. So let's just stick on that. And, a few others, I watched them. Now, to the point. I started learning and I started getting good. Like, oh my, it's good, right? And then me and Reynolds at this point, we are like friends now. Friends, okay? He's not teaching me, again, he's still not teaching me, but then we are friends now, okay? Because he had a good heart, to be honest, he had a good heart, and I love people with good hearts, and I love people who love the Most High, church, stuff like that. I love those kind of people. So we blended together, right? So I always visited him and we do things, okay? We're not even talking about graphic design at this point. I'm just learning aside, he's doing his thing, blah, blah, blah. I don't have FGF at that point, right? So the whole year, now I'm good. He starts seeing me posting on social media. He's like, oh no, this guy's getting good, right? He's not better than me, but he's good now. He's just like good, right? And then I could see him now starting to get this thing of, hey, let me show you this trick. Hey, let me show you that trick. Let me show you that trick. I'm like, oh, I got you now. Because you see that I'm okay. I got you, right? But then, he wasn't a bad person. I understand his situation. So, yeah, But the problem is, right? He started a company called Reynolds Media, right? Now, his company, rather his business, was blooming on LinkedIn. Blooming, okay? Facebook, blooming. Because the church knew him, right? And other pastors around, they sort of knew him. So they would hire him for posters and all that. So that would quickly get him attention. And Reynolds Media was like, boom, You know, he quit his job. Okay, his job was also graphic design, you know, but he quit his job. He started doing graphic design full time, right? And on his house, right? And I remember he had an Apple computer, you know, everything was clean, you know, he could do 3D, everything was so clean, you know, unlike mine. Mine was like good, but not clean, you know what I'm saying? Right. He was the guy now, he was the business guy now, right? And I'm like, wow, man, I'm proud of you and stuff like that, right? And then now he started working with bigger people. I remember guys with Golf 7. I remember Golf 7 was coming out at those times, right? Yeah, it's like Golf 7, yeah. And I remember guys with Golf 7 would come in, you know, in his house and like, what? Bro, you working with him? Wow. So he was there. The success was like starting, like that's like 15%. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And then I said, okay, let me start my own too, right? Because I also don't want to be the 9 to 5 guy, right? So I started FGF, right? FGF was not FGF. I have another video, a sit down like this where I talk about FGF, how I started it, and you know, I show you how my logo was and stuff like that. FGF wasn't FGF. It was Lucas Finer Graphics and Films. What? That's a long name. But I have a video. Go check out that video. I talk about that. Okay. Right now, let's just continue. Now, Reynolds had a website. You know, he didn't know about websites, to be honest. Okay. I remember he was introduced to creating websites in front of me, right? By clients on LinkedIn, because clients kept asking him, "Where's your portfolio? Where's your portfolio? Okay, you don't have portfolio. Where's your website? You know?" And Reynolds was like, "Man, people keep asking me about websites and stuff, and I'm showing them my work, and they keep asking me a website." And then he understood, and then he told me, "Hey, I think we gotta have sort of website, I guess, for people to sort of believe that we can do this, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You know, I didn't care all about that, right?" And then I remember he couldn't really do a proper website. He registered on Wix, you know. He started doing a website, like regular, just simple websites, basic websites, you know, like the corner store websites, okay, on Wix for clients. But for him, he had to hire another person aside to create a proper website. Man, the website was fire, right? So again, I'm just gonna scroll the website on right here, right now on the screen. This is the website, right? And then he had an app, right? I don't know if the app is still there, but I'm gonna check it out if it's still there, right? He had an app and a website, right? And he showed me. I'm like, wow, bro, you out of the way, like you done, like that, you done. And he was done, right? Because now he started doing all this, popping up, started making money. One day, woke up in the morning, right? He got on the bus. I don't remember exactly where he was going, right? But then he got on the bus, and he caught TB, right? He caught TB, and he came back with TB. Started coughing, you know, and started doing that, and said, "Hey, guys, I'm sick," you know. And of course, everybody gets sick, so you know. But then, this thing is getting worse and worse, right? He couldn't do anything. He's right on his bed, and you know, it's just bad at this point. It's just so sick, puking. I remember I was mopping his puke and all that. Right, he was my friend. Okay. And then obviously, rest in peace to him, right? Rest in peace to Reynolds. I really felt something. Okay, I really felt something, you know, when a friend died. Like, I really felt something. And that also gave me the edge of like just saying, "Hey, Reynolds, look, I'm gonna just take over where you left off, brother. Um, of course, I'm gonna do it on my business, but then I'm gonna make sure your standard is still there, right? So I'm gonna keep doing church posters. I'm gonna keep doing all that, right? I'm just gonna be like you, sort of a thing, right? Because I like what you did and I like what you introduced me to, and yeah, I'm gonna do it, right? So this is a picture. This is the picture right here that I designed. Those times, I designed this picture and I put it on my Facebook and I say, look, man, you're a graphic designer, so I'm gonna create sort of a design kind of a thing to you to say, hey, RIP, my friend, and yeah, I miss Rainers. I miss Rainers, right? Right. So from there, I remember again, I just went back on YouTube, and this time I started absorbing everything: graphic design, UI UX design. Graphic design and website development. Okay, I started absorbing everything, video editing, right? And then later, this UI UX thing started coming. UI UX is not old, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's not old. It's a new thing. Okay, yeah, that's why they keep changing and adding things. You don't understand what's going on because it's not old, right? So I started absorbing everything, and I started being good at everything. I started being serious at everything, right? And I got better and better and better. And then I started being very serious with FGF, and I rebranded it, and I just made it the thing, right? And I started feeling like Rainers. Okay, I had my thing, and now I was the guy on LinkedIn, and and I started feeling like Rainers. That's why Rainers would never like disappear in my mind, because everything I do is like inspired by Rainers. Okay, right. So everything I know is from YouTube, right? But the business is inspired by my friend Rainers, and yeah, I remember him. I remember. I didn't mean to get too personal. I thought this was just gonna go as fun as I started, but now I'm starting to get a little sad. So yeah, that's it. That's my story. That's how I got to graphic design. And right now, to be honest, I am even getting better and better and better. And of course, you are ever gonna learn these things, okay? Websites and all that. You're never gonna stop learning more and more and more things. If you hear someone say, "Hey, I'm done with the graphic design stuff. I'm an expert," he's lying to you, okay? There's no such thing as you're done, because new things are coming, new trends and new stuff introduced. Yeah. A time is coming where you're gonna hear people, or rather the world, saying, "Hey, white space is not necessary anymore." Yeah, I mean, imagine that. You're gonna hear that. Believe me, okay? Yeah, you're gonna hear them, right? You're gonna hear people say, "Hey, a lot of colors is not a good thing. Just do one color," and you're gonna. It's trends are coming, okay? So you're not gonna say, "Hey, I'm done. I know everything." No. I'm still learning even today. But what I like about myself is that I find myself teaching myself new things, right? Than just jumping on the internet to try to learn it, right? So when I do something, I teach myself. I'm like, "Oh, whoa, look what I discovered. Look what I came up with," right? So I have my own strategies now, right? I have a strategy that I created called border cut. Okay. Yes, I talked about it in one of my first videos in his channel. I think I should do another video, okay? Because in that video, I remember I was super hype. I don't know what, I don't know if I explain things perfectly, but it's my strategy. Border cut, it's nice. So I have all those kind of things, right? With that being said, though, I'm really appreciative of where I am through other people, like my friend. I never thought I was gonna be a graphic designer in life. Okay, yeah, every kid grow up being wishing to be an astronaut or scientist. All these fake things. All those things are fake. Okay, they're bad. They're evil. They're demonic. Okay, there's no such thing as astronaut. There's no such thing as scientist. These are all people just full of lies and all that. Okay, but this channel is not about that. Okay, let me not start things in the comments right now. Okay, but I'm just saying those are just candle in the winds careers, right? Yeah, so right now I'm here and I have my business and I'm proud of it. FGF, go ahead and support me. Refer clients, refer companies to me, and let's work together. Let's do graphic design together. Let's develop a website together, right? Let me design a website. Okay, sometimes we don't have to like develop a website. I can design it. UI UX design, I can design it for you and then give it to you, and then you're gonna go to your favorite person who can do the coding for you, right? Yes, so that's my story of how I got to graphics design, right? Everything got started from Rainus showing me that you can do it, right? And then from there, then I got introduced to also website development and all those kind of things, right? Yeah, so it's kind of the same story. And yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching. I have more interesting videos just like this on my channel. So go ahead and scroll, subscribe, share, and like, and I'll see you in a scroll.